Welcome to our Apple Home. I'm Josh, got my cameraman Braden here with me. We're a father-son team building out a Apple smart home with all the tech that surrounds it. And today we're going to talk about the Onvis Chameleon LED light strips. Let's get them unboxed. All right, now that we've gotten that unboxed, I think the first order of business is to get these things set up, and we can talk a little bit about the project too. So we have this Ikea shelving unit that we made down in our basement, and we have this gaming area set up, and we really want like a nice light to kind of come off that wall. We already did, if you haven't seen it, we have a Maris kind of LED light strip video that we did where we put up some overhead lights, but for this one we wanted to do some lights behind the Ikea shelf. And so it took us a while to figure out, but we kind of traced out a path with minimal overlap, and we used 3 16-foot strips to do it. But we've got the whole, like every back kind of surface snaked around with LEDs. Let's go get that started. Okay, now that we've gotten that set up on the back of the Ikea shelf, I've got some of them added to HomeKit. We can get the third one added here. And so you can see this will just be through the magic of editing. I'll speed this up a little bit, but we just go in and we'll add it. We'll add an accessory to HomeKit, and then we'll scan the tag. And there it's sensing it's a light. And now it's in HomeKit. There we go. We can call it Onvis 3. All right, cool. So I will say, you can see I've got all 3 on here now. Onvis 1, 2, and 3. And we can turn them off and on. I think one of them is a little slow. It's like not getting the best Wi-Fi signal. So we have Unify equipment, and I can see the Wi-Fi signal strength from the AP that it's hitting. And like 2 of them are really strong, but one of them's like 80%, which is pretty not great. And we had trouble updating that one firmware wise. So I think there is definitely like a little bit of a quality control problem in the Wi-Fi. Having gotten 3, 2 were really good, 1 was not so great. So that's something to watch out for sure. The other great thing about these Onvis, their app isn't the best here, but you can see we've got, in the basement area, we've got Onvis 1, 2, and 3 in here. I can come in here and you can kind of paint your own style if you want. You can change like how they move around, cycle times, like all kinds of great things in here. I tend to just do the presets. So if you click in here to preset, you can see like I have it set to Rose Garden. But you can also, the great thing is they've updated the app recently, and you can say create a scene to Home App. And I can say Rose Garden, create, and it'll go ahead and like put that in there. So if we go back to the Home App now, got a lot in here because they came from, there it is, Rose Garden. So now I can hit that one and it'll set those to the Rose Garden, or it'll at least set the one that we were on at that moment. But I also, in the Onvis app, went in there and made a group of them together down here. You can see the K1 shelf like groups, presets. They don't give you the ability to push to Home App from here. That's a bummer. Well, anyway, you could make, I guess, Rose Garden 1, 2, and 3. but that's probably less helpful. I will say when I turn them on, it will turn on to the last scene that I kind of had them set to. So that's kind of nice. I would recommend upgrading the firmware as soon as you get these out of the box and plugged in. That was a major pain for us. Like we got the 2 upgraded, but the one with the kind of not so great Wi-Fi, we had trouble with that one. And then I will say we got one of them updated, but it was saying that it wasn't updated, but the version was reading the correct version. And so I had to contact Onvis support, and they actually told me like, oh, you need to delete the app off your phone and reinstall it and then try to do the update, and it should be fine. And that did seem to fix it. So that's definitely a pro tip there if you're having trouble getting the firmware updated. I've also done that with Nanoleaf for the Essentials bulbs. We've had trouble with those sometimes. So definitely not the only manufacturer with a not great firmware process. But I will say, like, their app, it seems somewhat basic, but it does work, and it gives you access to some of the more advanced features. I do look forward to the day when Apple maybe updates HomeKit to give us the ability to control multiple zones on an LED strip. That would be kind of nice. I don't know if that's something we'll see natively in HomeKit, but definitely something I'm hoping for. So I do think at the price of the Onvis, $69.99 for the 16-foot, we had 3 of those on the back, so that's what you're seeing in action. I think, as long as the value, as long as the project you're doing can benefit from the ability for movement in the LED, or that's something that you're after, I think it's a great light strip for the price. I do wish we didn't have that problem with the one, but the other 2 were fine. So, for me, this is probably a solid like B minus on the product. But if you're looking for something a little more advanced, I think for like multiple colors, you're either looking at the K1 from Onvis, or I think Twinkly has some support there. Again, nothing's native in HomeKit, but as long as you can set it, and then when you turn it on from HomeKit, you get that kind of movement and that painted picture type of LED movement. I think it works great. So I'm super happy with it. I will say we actually are re-recording this a second time because at first we were very frustrated and gave it a bad review, but after getting the tip for deleting and getting the firmware updated, it's been a wonderful product. We use it all the time, so I would recommend it. We may put it in more spots in the house. We'll see. And hopefully the HomeKit integration, gets a lot tighter and more integrated, so when you open the app, you can control more features straight from the Home app, or using your voice with, our favorite HomePod Mini. Anyway, thanks for watching. We always appreciate you checking out our Apple Home reviews and paying attention to what we're doing. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Click the bell to be notified when we put new ones up. We're going to try to get back to doing these on a weekly basis. And we'll see you in the next episode.